little Gran Turismo 7 AI event. What I've got for you guys today is a vintage 90s LeMans series. And it's going to be a 5 event series, each 40-minute races. Since I tend to kind of abandon these after a few races. This is only a 5-race series, and it's probably the one that I had the most fun building the cars for, because I don't know, they're just cool vintage LeMans machines. I've got 5 different cars. I would consider adding a 6th car to the grid, since I do have room for 3 more cars. Each team has 3 cars, so there are 15 cars in the competition. So I would have the room for another team, but I'd have to wait for the Ferrari F40 to re-enter the Legends dealer, and then I can make the F40 LM. So you might see a Ferrari F40 LM join the grid later on in this event. However, for the time being, the kind of cars we have here, we have, and hopefully nobody's too picky in particular. Yes, you'll notice every car has the exact same livery, and no, the numbers are not different, mainly because, well, the XC220 and the 911 GT1 you see here specifically are rather expensive, so I don't want to spend 30 million credits so that I can have 3 different number 911s. However, let's go through the grid order. We have the 911 GT1 competing from 1998. This is the 97 model year car. All the cars are road cars converted into LeMans machines. I have a 98 model year paint scheme, which was the year they won. I believe that's not the livery of the winning car. I think the winning car was the one with the orange accents, however. We have the 99 GTSR Team Orica Dodge Viper. We have a TWR Jaguar XJ220. This one I think was either from the 93 or the 95 Le Mans race. We have the Nismo 400R converted into the Nismo GTR LM race car, as it gets better downforce than the standard R33 and has a version of the actual race car's motor. And then we have the C4 Corvette ZR1 as one of the competitors. And all the drivers in the field are manufacturer specific. All the drivers who are here actually raced. Without further ado, the green flag is out. Safety car is pulled off. We are underway here at Le Mans. Alan McNish in the 911 GT1 maintains the lead through the first set of corners. There is no fuel consumption for this little series, but there is tire wear. Tire wear I thought was fair. Fuel consumption could, cause problems. There is damage on, so if we do get collisions, that will cause damage and require pit stops. Oh, we do have damage. It's David Coulthard in the XA220 who seems to have managed to get damage must have made contact with Dupuy. McNish maintains the lead. The AI, for whatever reason, refused to go full throttle. These cars can all do over 200 miles an hour, but AI refused to. Got a lot of fighting there at the back of the field. As Beretta's going around the outside of McNish, can he get the move done into the second set of chicanes? They're side by side. McNish trying around the outside to maintain his advantage, but Beretta has the torque he needs down the straight. Can McNish use the slipstream to his advantage to try and take back the lead from Beretta? As David Brabham moves up into third position. Beretta loose on exit there. That's going to give McNish a chance. Brabham gets loose. He's got we got all of the Vipers. A lot of people getting loose here. We've got Wendlinger all the way up to 5th. Or he might have started up there. Paul Jr. in a good position from where he started. And man, those GTRs are really loud. Beretta maintains his lead that he gained on the Molzon Straight. I can't pronounce the actual name of the straight. I get it wrong. It's named after the village to the left of it. So I'm calling it the Molzon Straight like most people would. Beretta gets loose on exit. Beretta's struggling to get traction, to control his car out of these corners. As David Brabham breathing down the neck of Alan McNish. And the 400Rs, since the AI cannot change the tune on the car, I've set the torque vector and differential to 595, so it's pretty much rear-wheel drive like the race car. Beretta now coming through the Porsche curves. This is where the 911 GT1 should shine. Close, tightly packed field. That Viper a little better on the straights, but the 911 GT1 has to measure it in the corners, as Brabham might be sizing up a move on the 911 GT1 of McNish. So far, nothing. As Hilo trying to make his way up to the podium fight. Fukuyama up to 6th. And Paul Jr. still finds himself in 7th. He's got David Coulthard breathing down his neck. Coulthard now. I think we'll display the everything. I have the damage on light, I believe. Or no, I have it on heavy. Okay. It was Tiffany Dale that had damage, not David Coulthard. Beretta still has McNish. Oh, Beretta! He runs wide. He's going to have dirt on the tires. How does that affect him through Tetra Rouge? He manages to get through it with not much struggle at all. Going on board with McNish. He's got the slipstream. Is it going to be enough for him to size up a move? Oh, here comes Brabham! Around the outside! McNish has the inside for the first chicane on the Molzon, but now that advantage goes to David Brabham, who's going to make his way around the British driver. In the not so lore accurate V12 XJ220, I wasn't going to buy another one to have a correct motor V6. This car is the lowest PP of all the cars in the field, and it is absolutely killing it. Looks like it might have a shorter gear set. Brabham pulls away with the lead. Beretta's still in the slipstream. McNish falling back. AI really not getting the full potential of that Viper. Sadly, they don't shift until the red line, so that's practically a 4-speed Viper down the straights, or at all times. Viper makes all of its torque lower down in the rev range, so if the AI shifted earlier, it would get the full effect of the Viper's potential straight line. I'll have to work out the gears considering the fact that the AI refused to go full throttle and shift when they're supposed to. The same three cars battling for the top three spots are the same three cars battling for fourth. However, we do have a Corvette, Paul Jr., right back there, throwing his name in the ring. He sadly does have some front-end damage. It's going to hinder him. It looks like he must have gotten into Coulthard at some point during the lap. That's going to be good news for Ilo and Wendinger. However, Miro, teammate of Paul Jr., not too far behind, making his way through the field. He's gotten past the two 400R, or two Skyline GTRs in front of him. He's ahead of all three of them, and all three of them directly behind him. As Kondo and Tetsuya team, earlier contact has definitely hindered him. David Brabham now holds a comfortable lead. Wendinger right on McNish's tail. Porsche team's going to have to work on their tune for this car. The forecast here at Le Mans is sunny with a 0% chance of rain as Coulthard makes his way up into fourth. Now with damage on both ends of the race car. Usually they pit immediately upon receiving damage. Turns out Coulthard either just got damaged now or chose not to pit. McNish finds himself down in fifth, ahead of his French teammate, Paul Jr. Apparently not worried at all. About much of anything on his team. Forgot that I really do need to save the replay and play the saved replay, otherwise I do get issue where the screen kind of just flickers black if the cars are too far apart. That is David Brabham on for a best lap of the race. As I am not playing the saved replay, the fastest lap does not show up on the screen, and neither does the actual time left in the race. I will get that right for round two. As a damaged David Coulthard still holding his own, he does have Wendinger, who's also damaged behind him. But here comes Jean-Paul Jr. Does he go down the inside? No, he's going to have to go on the defense. There's Miro. It appears that somehow the AI know to shift the 400R before the red line. That is very interesting. I've never seen that before. They all are short shifting by the looks of it now. Well, some of them are short shifting. The Viper's short shifting just a little bit. Yeah, that Jaguar has incredible straight line speed. Insanity. Third place is so far behind that we're getting the lag in between changing. Wendinger and Paul Jr. all have damage. So does McNish and Aiello. Teammates have clashed. This looks good for Mero in the Corvette. He's catching up to the tail of this line of damaged cars. All he's got to do is keep his bumper clean, which might be tricky considering how risky and aggressive he is. Right up the rear of the Porsches. Those C4 Corvettes could easily be a force to be reckoned with. The C4 Corvette, known for being a very good racing chassis, just a good chassis in general. Very stiff. See if our damage-inflicted cars choose to make any stops or repairs. Coulthard is in, Wendinger in, Paul Jr. in, McNish, Aiello in. That means Mero's going to inherit a crap ton of spots here for the Corvette 01 racing team. The ZR1 is one of the two cars that's technically not from the 90s, imitating a 90s version of the car being used. It's an 89 01 in this game, however, it was the 95 01 that livery, or at least that car, is supposed to be. And the Orc Dodge is not an 02 Viper, that's the 99 model year race car. Not the other iconic red with white stripes car that everybody remembers, which won its class at Le Mans in 2000, I believe. And not much else, as the C5R pretty much wiped out the American Le Mans series that year, from what I remember, in the GTS class. Mero now, and the straight. Let's get a speed comparison here. What speed does David Brabham hit before he gets to the first chicane? 175. Beretta, 175. How fast can Mero go? 75, 76, 77. 178 for Mero. He's got a very quick car, that Corvette. Now the top three are so far apart, there's a delay in between when I get to look at them. As we're approaching halfway distance in this race, Fukuyama, Kondo fighting for fourth. Nismo team running 4th, 5th, and 6th. Kondo and Fukuyama have been fighting each other pretty persistently during this race. Here is the gaggle of recent pitters, and McDougal, who pitted very early in this race. Wendinger now tries the outside of McDougal. He runs out of room. Jean-Paul Jr. now defending from David Coulthard, and by the looks of it, failing to do so. Tiffany Dell already with damage from Ortelli. Aiello and McNish in the 911 GT1, which I would have predicted to be one of the better cars today. Not doing too hot. Doesn't the damage that they've encountered has not helped, and Dupuy is a rather depressing 15th. Does bother me. Let's check out Mero here. You can just hear those Nismo GTRs off in the distance. Incredibly loud. Easily the loudest car here. Managed to stay ahead of teammate Kondo. McDougal now catching up to Kasuya. Does he go for the move? Stuck to the back bumper of Kasuya. As Wendlinger and Coulthard battling it out. Dougal wants to make his way around Kasuya, preferably sooner than later, before Wendlinger and or Coulthard get a chance at him. We do have a couple of former F1 drivers in this field. Coulthard probably the most notable of the bunch. Okay, McDougal now. Gonna have to make a move. Looks to go around the outside of the Nismo GTR Skyline. Can the Nismo GTR fend off the XJ220? Not a chance. Now Coulthard will get his shot at McDougal on the run down to the next chicane. Tiff Needell. Not a good day for Tiff Needell. Brabham now still has a healthy lead over Beretta. However, he hasn't exactly ran away with it. Both of them have a relatively healthy gap to Mero here. Yet to make his way around McDougal. Wendlinger next to try and make his way around one of the GTRs. McNish, not I'm sure they've had better races. They were former champions of the 24-hour Le Mans in 1998 in the 911 GT1. However, all eyes are on David Brabham, who still currently holds the lead. It looks like Beretta might be doing just a bit better through the Porsche curves. Sad day for the Porsche team. I think that V12 engine for the XJ220 is clearly helping it out. As we are approaching the sunset here at the Lizard region, McDougal and Coulthard are advancing, getting closer to the Nismo skylines. Looks like Renlinger and Kasuya must have gotten into a bit of a altercation, as Alan McNish finally looks like he's about to crack the top 10. Hasn't been there since, well, the start of the race, really. Brabham maintaining what appears to have been pretty much the same gap to Beretta over the better part of the last 12 minutes or so. Ever since he's passed Beretta, he hasn't really been able to gap Beretta. Just keep Beretta right in the distance, right outside the good part of the slipstream. Has the advantage in the straights, may not have the advantage in the corners. Let's check out Brabham's minimum speed through the corner. 31. Beretta, not much different. Beretta might have slightly better low-range acceleration, which is also helping him on corner exits. Fukuyama and Kondo are still going at it, but Kondo might get the move made on his teammate Fukuyama. He finally gets that move made. He's been waiting just about all race to get that done. As we see, the C4 Corvettes have erected the pop-up headlights, a feature no other car on the grid has. David Brabham leading in the XJ220. A beautiful machine indeed. A car that in 1992, while only briefly, held the production car top speed record. It was only for a brief period of time before Gagari dropped the EB110. I believe it was the SS that beat the top speed of the XJ220, but I don't remember which exact model of the EB110 it was. Beretta managing to just keep Brabham in his sights. Hasn't let Brabham run away, but isn't exactly catching Brabham either. Let's check out on Miro. We're taking a look at Miro, and all we're hearing is the Nismo GTR Skyline behind him, who he hasn't really been able to get too far away from. Because Kondo has some real speed in his car in comparison to his teammate Fukuyama. As McDougall, Miro's teammate, the Canadian, gets his way up to 4th, and he seems to have some real pace in that car. Taking damage repairs. Alan McNish is now going to inherit 9th place. Iowa, 10th. Porsche now have 2 of their cars back in the top 10. Dougal holds 4th. Kondo 5th. Coulthard around the outside. He's trying. Coulthard right on the heels of the Canadian, but he's been held up by Kondo and Fukuyama in the GTRs here. Coulthard on the right side of Fukuyama. Does he have enough momentum to go for Kondo as well? Can he get Kondo in the first of the Mulsanne straights 2 chicanes? Has the lead under braking. Well, lead over Kondo, and he's going to get that move made. And he'll be back to chasing McDougall, who is 7/10 purple. On track for the fastest lap. McDougall has some real speed in that C401. As David Brabham still only just maintaining his gap to Beretta. If Beretta can find something in that car here as we approach the last 10 minutes, he could have a chance to take this lead back, but, I mean, this gap has stayed almost exactly since Brabham made the pass for the lead. David Brabham, son of Jack Brabham, Formula One legend. David Coulthard, famous F1 driver, won multiple Grand Prix during his F1 career. However, never managed a championship. Alan McNish, one of 3 1998 24-hour Le Mans winners, alongside his teammates, Ola and Ortelli. Jack Brabham, his minimum speed through that corner, 5 mph slower than that of Beretta's. Ooh, Kondo kicking the tail loose in the Skyline. Driving the wheels off that thing. As Jean-Paul Jr. makes his way towards the Porsche chicanes, followed by the 2 top running Porsches. These tires hold on for quite a while at Le Mans, a track that's relatively nice to the tires, as there are plenty of straights, giving plenty of opportunities for drivers to let their tires cool. Beretta, I almost want to say it looks like he's slowly inching his way towards Brabham, but I can't say for sure. Mero, on the other hand, looks like he's pretty comfortably set for third. However, his teammate McDougal could potentially be a threat to steal away the final podium spot here at round 1. The GTRs still holding a rather impressive 6th and 7th. They're eating into their tires compared to some of the other cars. The Porsche team, weary of the fact they have Dupuy behind them in the Viper, a very fast car, however well aware of the fact that John Paul Jr. in front of both McNish and Aiello appears to be slower than the Porsches. Will McNish make a move on John Paul Jr.? Alan McNish, contact with the rear of Jean Paul Jr. Oh, Paul Jr. really starting to struggle. Not sure what's happening with him. McNish will have a slipstream, but that Corvette, I think it's just that much faster than the Porsches down the straight. David Brabham appears to have possibly extended his gap to Beretta slightly, but it appears that he extends his gap throughout the most of the straight portion of the track, and then in the corners Beretta reels him in just a teeny bit. Real question though is, with estimated, I just have to say what, 1.5 laps remaining, can McDougal catch it to his teammate Mero, and or stay ahead of a hungry David Coulthard behind, who could potentially pass 2 Corvettes to sneak his way into the top 3 for a podium? Paul Jr. still manages to keep his Corvette ahead of the 2 hungry Porsches, but can the 2 hungry Porsches keep themselves ahead of Dupuy in the Viper? Aiello under attack. The side-by-side Dupuy appears to be in front. Here we come up to it. The end of the Mulsanne straight, the Mulsanne corner, Dupuy. I hope that's how his name's pronounced and I'm not getting it wrong. Runs wide on the exit. Manages his way around one of the Porsches. Porsche now only with 1 car in the top 10. And that car now, while looking to try and take 8th, might have to be defending its 9th position. Here comes Dupuy. He hasn't really done much of anything this race. He's been at the back for the most of it. But it looks like he's trying to make the whatever he's got left count. As it does appear that Brabham and Beretta are making their way towards what will be their final lap. Everybody's on the penultimate lap of this race, I believe. Beretta making up time here through the Porsche curves. They're all they seem like the Viper curves today, as it's the Vipers who have been dominant through them. The Porsches have been good. However, I don't think they've been good enough. Obviously, we will see whether or not McNish can defend from Dupuy, as they are now in the Porsche curves, and that's the Porsche being passed in the Porsche curves. He has so much grip that he's trying to defend around the outside, but it's... Oh, he does! He just manages to squeeze back past Dupuy, but he's going to have to defend for another lap, and I don't think that Porsche has what it takes. Unless he has the ability to make a move on Paul Jr. and put a car in between himself and Dupuy, I don't think it's happening. McNish right on the tail of Paul. Desperately looking to make his way through. Putting a car in between him and Dupuy would be huge. Crucial at this stage that he gets around Paul. He's only going to have a few chances. That Corvette is awfully fast in the straights. Maybe he can stay close enough to that Corvette and use the slipstream to defend. However, I don't think that'd be enough. Also, the GTRs in 6th and 7th now are posing the question of whether or not these guys are going to catch up to them. McNish checking his rearview mirror, having to figure out whether or not he's going defensive into a corner or onto the attack. He wants 7th, but he wants 8th, but he also doesn't want 10th. Not far off the rear bumper of John Paul Jr. Does he have enough of a slipstream to make a move? And will the Corvette of Paul Jr. catch a slipstream of the Nismo Skylines? This is the battle for 8th, 9th. Paul appears to have caught up to the back of Fukuyama in the GTR. GTR has a gearing issue. They're going to have to solve that for the Petite Le Mans, which is going to be the second round, where we go to Road Atlanta. Paul Jr. making his way around a GTR. This also might be McNish's big chance to stay ahead of Dupuy. As long as he stays ahead of Dupuy before this chicane, and it's going to be close. Are they going to go side by side? No, McNish has just enough of an advantage before the chicane to keep Dupuy off the attack. Now he needs to get around Fukuyama, and he needs to get around Fukuyama fast. He needs to hope that he can get around him, and Dupuy can't. And that Dupuy doesn't, at least nowhere near as quickly. But McNish in a compromising situation, trying to keep his car centered. Dupuy can't find a lane to go for the overtake. He's looking for one. One isn't opening up all the way. McNish now right on the rear bumper of Fukuyama. Ooh, and Dupuy getting loose out of the Mulsanne corner. Can Alan McNish move up into 8th position and stay ahead of Dupuy? Can he move ahead of Fukuyama to maintain 9th? What will happen here? John Paul Jr., I'm pretty sure, unless he gets his way around another Nismo, which it appears he's about to do so, passes Kondo for P6. McNish frustrated behind the rear bumper of that Nismo. David Brabham has enough of a gap to Beretta. I don't think he's going to struggle. Alan McNish now. They've exited Indy. They're on the run down to the Porsche curves. Can McNish defend? Can McNish pass? What can he do? David Brabham about to enter the final set of chicanes at this track. Looks like McNish can't make a pass. Here comes David Brabham into the final chicanes on the circuit. David Brabham through the final chicane is gonna win at Le Mans with a margin of victory that couldn't be more than a second. Mero manages to hold off his teammate for 3rd. However, it's McNish, Dupuy, Fukuyama, and Kondo that we are really paying attention to here. Kondo enters the final chicane in 7th. He has 3 cars right behind him. Fukuyama changes lanes. Can Fukuyama make his way back around Kondo? I don't think he's going to do it. Out of the final chicane. No changes to position. It's Kondo, Fukuyama, McNish, and then Dupuy. And Dupuy, I think, would have had McNish if there was another lap. McDougal kept fourth. Coulthard was hot on his tails, but not close enough. Now we look. Tiff Needell finishes ahead of Wendlinger. Kazuya, well ahead of Kazuya, not the position he would have wanted to finish in. Makes his way through the first set of the final chicanes here. Now, through the final. Kazuya not going to be last. Sadly, that's going to go to Ortelli. I'm sure he's just as disappointed as anybody would be to finish in last. But there it is. David Brabham wins from Beretta. That was an exciting race. However, there weren't very many lead changes. Once Brabham got the lead, he never lost it. But he also never ran away from Beretta. So there you go, finishing order: Brabham, Beretta, Mero, McDougal, Coulthard, Paul Jr., Kondo, Fukuyama, McNish, DePoy, Ailo, however the hell you're supposed to pronounce that, not very good at French names, Needell, Wedlinger, Kazuya, and Ortelli. Not Kazuya. Kazuya was further up. It was, no, it was Kazuya that was back there. However, that was a fun race, and I actually look forward to seeing how they do next time out. When I tested these cars personally, the lap times were all within a second of each other. However, that didn't account for the AI, you know, deciding that going 100% throttle was overrated. I will adjust the gear ratios according to what I believe the car should do, and I'll adjust the power a little bit. Try and make the field a little bit more competitive as the safety car makes its way around the track. Well, I hope that you all enjoyed. This was probably my favorite race we've had so far, and there was no rain involved. I specifically wanted no weather condition. Man, that safety car is flying. Well, next time out, we'll be at the Petit Le Mans, Road Atlanta. We'll see who does well there. I don't think I'm gonna have a points system for this. It's more of just a fun exhibition event. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Until then, y'all have a good one.